Hello.
Hello.
Mhm.
So let's start. So good evening, everyone. On behalf of Team ACM PCCOE, I extend a very warm welcome to our esteemed guest and all the students joining us today. It is our pleasure to have all with us for today's Google Summer of Code guidance session, organized by the ACM Student Chapter PCCOE. The objective of today's session is to help students understand the open source, learn about Google Summer of Code, and gain practical insights into beginning their open source journey from someone who has experienced the program both as a mentor and a contributor. We are delighted to welcome our speaker, Mr. Bishal Das sir. Mr. Bishal Das is Google Summer of Code contributor with the open source worldwide application security project, which is also known as OWASP, and has also served as a project mentor under the Google Summer of Code program with OWASP. He is currently working as an SDE intern at Angel One, and he is a six-time hackathon winner and serves as a senior placement coordinator for the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at SGSITS Indore. Having experienced GSoC from both the contributors and mentors perspective, he brings a valuable insight into open source development, proposal writing, community collaboration, and building a successful career in a software engineering. We are truly grateful that you have taken the time to join us today and share your experience with all of us. Without taking much of your valuable time, let's begin today's session. Also, I need to inform that all the students in this session are like SY and TY. So let's start. The first question would be, many students joining us today are hearing terms like open source and GSoC for very first time. Could you explain what open source actually is, how the collaboration process works, and why it has become such an important part of modern software development?
Right. So open source is basically a very simple thing. All the company's code base, everything is publicly available. You can contribute to it directly. We can take example of Android. Okay, Android is open source. If you have heard about Qualcomm, it is open source. So you can directly check the company's code base. You can directly contribute to them. Linux is also open source. You have been using npm packages. Those are also open source as well. So like if you find any bug, if you want to like add any new feature, you can directly add a PR and contribute to the project. So I guess this was one of your question, and could you repeat the other questions as well?
Could you explain what is open source and collaboration process with it works?
Right. So open source is basically, acha, let me ask you a simple question. Let keep this interactive. I guess we have 26 people joined right now. So how many of you know the basics of open source? Okay. One. Okay. Okay. I can see only three hands. Okay. Anyway, so like it's a place where people can contribute their code. Okay. So think of it like a Google Drive. Google Drive में we store our photos, our videos. We can share our link to anyone, right? What we do is usually we go to any trip. ठीक है? We create one Google Drive folder and we ask our friends to upload your images and videos. So similar thing happens in open source. You create one repository. We use the term repository. We upload our own like initial codes and we ask the community to add their features, like contribute to the project. ठीक है? And like Google Summer of Code gives you a platform to like promote this open source thing, because in today's world many of the like big tech companies are using open source projects because one of the major reason is they're safe to use, because the code base is publicly visible. No one can actually hack them. Anyone can block any malicious code.
Okay, nice insights. Moving to the next question, who is eligible to participate and what is the primary objective of the program?
The primary objective is to promote open source contributions, and anyone above the age of 18 who is open source beginner. Also, they do mention you should be open source beginner, but I don't think so. They use any kind of criteria to measure if you're open source beginner or not. So anyone above the age of 18 can contribute to open source and can participate in Google Summer of Code.
Okay, okay. How did you first discover GSoC and what motivated you to begin contributing to open source?
Okay, so let me ask you a simple question कि like college में तुम लोग क्या करना है? Primary reason क्या है college join करने का?
अच्छी प्लेसमेंट चाहिए.
अच्छी प्लेसमेंट चाहिए, अच्छी पैकेज चाहिए, पैसे कमाना है, ठीक है. सिंपल थिंग. सो सिमिलरली आई गेस अराउंड क्लास 12 I got to know about GSoC, and the next year I participated in Google Summer of Code without any expectations. That is in my first year of college, and the reason was simple कि stipend बहुत अच्छा मिल रहा है. It was around $3,000, so currently around 3 lakh rupees. So this was the primary reason that motivated me to participate in the program. And like, yeah.
Many of our juniors and seniors have the dream to be in GSoC. So there was one question of mine and all other students. Many juniors are intimidated when they open a repository containing thousands of files. How did
Right.
you overcome that fear and start contributing to existing code base?
So this is pretty normal, and the only solution to this is contribute to by contributing over the time. So you can start by contributing to small projects. Projects. I have one repository that you can use to start your open source contributions. I can share the link with you. इसमें हो सकते हैं GitHub पे. हाँ, इसमें chat में डाल देना. ठीक है. I'll share with you later. ठीक है.
How did you shortlist the organization you eventually applied to? What factors should beginners consider while selecting an org?
Okay, so basically there is a website GSoCorganizations.dev. Okay, so I've used this website for like listing all the organizations that has been participated in GSoC in the last few years. So basically, if you see the timeline of GSoC, around February starting, the organization like gives the proposal to Google that we want to be part of GSoC. Around Feb end or 1st of May, they get a response from Google that you were selected or rejected. This is for the organization side, right? After that, during March to April, for contributors, the deadline opens. Like you can, as a contributor, you can apply to the organizations. But before starting of March, you don't know which organization is participating this year. So using tools like GSoC organizations.tab, you can see which organizations are there in the past few years. Like for example, let's say past 5 years. So you are certain that if they are participating since last 5 years, there is a high possibility that they will be participating this year also. Also, you can directly reach out to the mentors of that organization if they are going to apply. Because if they are not going to apply, they are not going to get shortlisted, right? So the timeline for contribution opens from March to April. You can, as a contributor, you can submit your proposal to the organization. They will review and they will share who is selected and who is rejected by the first week of May.
Okay. So next question would be how important are the contributions like people request before submitting a GSoC proposal? Do they
It is very,
significantly
very
improve?
important. Yeah, it is very, very important because, see, first of all, open source is a kind of place. So let's take an example ki, the same example, Google Drive. Okay. So if I'm sharing the Google Drive link within my friend circle, we know ki, theek hai, we know that person, and he is uploading the required images or videos, right? But if you're circulating a link throughout the college, throughout the city, throughout the country, over the world, we don't know कि सामने वाले का intention क्या है, ठीक है. So getting like starting to contribute before the period, like the GSoC period, the proposal period is very, very important, so that the mentor knows you, ठीक है. The mentor will know you, he will know your intentions. So the intention should be कि you are going to contribute to open source even after Google Summer of Code. It's not like कि ठीक है, I did mention कि money is a part of thing, but it shouldn't be like कि I am doing it just for the money, ठीक है. You should be like कि this is a starting point for your journey, and after that you are going to like contribute to different projects.
I have one more doubt about there is one question in chat. What is considered as meaningful contribution? Could you give
Okay.
some insights?
Hmm. So, like meaningful contribution, you can see as like, for example, let's say Android. Okay, Android is open source. I say. So let's take an example that you figured out one security issue in Android. Ki anyone can open your phone without any password or something, right? So what can you do? You can do like you can figure out the code yourself, ki what is going on in the code. You can find out a solution, and you can contribute directly to the project. That can be called as a meaningful contribution because it is creating an impact. So creating an impact is a big thing. It's not like you are just changing a color of the div, color of the button. It doesn't make sense.
Okay. There was one more doubt. Before contributing into GSoC, do they consider the contributions of small open sources like GirlScript and other open sources platforms? Means
Yeah.
it is considered in the experience or not?
Yeah, so it's like ki they consider everything. Okay? They consider ki how much contribution you have made till now to the project. So they see your like consistency. Okay? Consistency should be the, I guess, most important thing, because nowadays GSoC is a very like competitive thing. Like it's the next JE, I guess. Okay?
Hmm.
So there is like in my organization just before GSoC there are 200 to 250 different contributors, and we are going to only select 6 or 7 of them. So it is very difficult to select so many, like out of so many contributors, we have to select only 6 or 7. So we see like how much, like for each of the profile we see how much they have contributed. Like are they consistent enough, are they continuously contributing to our project, since when they are contributing. So we'll get a profile ki this guy will be staying. Like also during the period of GSoC we don't want someone to drop off, right? Because that will just waste the place. And one more thing to note, it's not like if you get into GSoC you will get the stipend, you will get the certificate. Because after getting into GSoC there are two evaluations: midterm evaluation and end term evaluation. If you pass both of them, then only we will get the certificate. And many of the contributors don't get the chance to receive a certificate.
Okay. There is a question that as both a contributor and a mentor, what do you think a proposal makes stand out?
I don't think that proposal will stand out so much. Like what I feel is your work says a lot about you. If you have been contributing since a long time, if you are consistent enough, then proposal doesn't like make a huge load of impact. But yeah, keeping it crisp and short would be a good thing, and it shouldn't look like you have made it using AI tools. I guess 20 to 25 pages. I guess it is the sweet spot.
Okay. What are the common mistakes that mentors often notice in GSoC applications and proposals?
The most common would be like using just AI tools for building the proposal. It's a straight out red flag. We directly just reject the candidate without even seeing the proposal. So I guess that is the most important thing to avoid. And rather than this, I don't think so. There are so much specs. Yeah, I mean, keep it crisp. No one is going to read your 50-page essay.
And
So
how to avoid use of AI?
understanding the code base, understanding what the organization is doing. So you can like visit all. So if you visit OWASP, they have multiple projects, multiple repositories. So you have to understand what OWASP is trying to do, right? First, try to understand what OWASP is trying to do. Then understand what part of OWASP you are working to, what they are trying to achieve. All the organizations, they have a timeline, they have a milestone. Key in next 6 months, what do you want to achieve? If you are aligning with the milestone, then you are the best person to get hired in the Google Sum of Code.
One more question in the chat. What is the basic thing to do so as to get in open source if a person is a beginner?
Okay, so like first of all, get started with development, any kind of development, web development, app development. Because once you get into open source, yeah, data structures might be one of the thing that you can improve the algorithms or optimize the code base. That is also one part, but the contribution you will be making is through either web development, app development, or any cloud changes. So the first thing you should learn is development. Second thing, you can start contributing to very simple projects. Like I will share one link with you. You can contribute to that repository, and it's very simple. You just have to make one div and like create a pull request. So you can start like in our college. I start once I had a like workshop kind of thing, and 50 people joined. Like it was an offline workshop, and 50 people, 50 beginners. They were from first year. So from starting from installing VS Code to their first contribution in open source, I have guided them. So I'll share the same repository with you. I guess you can take it as a reference.
Yeah. The next question would be my personal doubt. Many project ideas mention technologies that students haven't worked with before. How should beginners approach learning unfamiliar technologies during the application process?
Yeah, that is true. The technology they mention might be very much unfamiliar because the same thing happened with me. So I guess the first thing you should do is make contribution to the repositories or to the organization that you are familiar with. First of all, right? I'm not speaking about like only from GSoC point of view, because if you're starting contributing to open source, you will not be like jumping to GSoC all the way, right? You will go step by step. So first, contributing to open source, you will just look for any familiar code bases, any familiar companies that you can contribute. Once you have contributed, you will get to know, okay, how to run projects, because the major audience, they doesn't know how to replicate the code base locally and how to run it locally. Without running it locally, you cannot contribute to that project, right? So that is the very basic thing you should do. And the second thing, could you repeat your question?
What are the project ideas in which they
Yeah,
use the technology?
technology. Okay, right. So many of the organization, they mention some technology which we have not heard about, right? But it is not like, if you open the project now, if you start contributing, if you run it locally, you will understand that that technology is not a major part of that. Because if you open WASP, you will see mention of ZAP and similar things, but actually they are running just a Django application, and I guess many of the developers know Python, so Django is not a big thing. But if you just see the project description, it mentions ZAP for OWASP and something, so people will be confused. So just I would recommend, don't be confused. At least visit the code base once. If you have prior experience to open source, as I said, at least try to replicate some code base locally, run it locally. After that, I guess you're good to.
Pointing on your question, like in this, if we see the code bases, so what could be the priority of visiting the code base? Like even a junior who visited for first time didn't know that how to visit a code base or file structure. Can you give
Okay.
some other tips for beginner or for me also?
Okay, so I guess that comes from basics of web development. If you're like web or app development, if your like development journey is clear, if you have done at least made a few projects in web development or app development, I don't think so. Like folder structure should be a major concern. After you have done web development and made some projects, you can try replicating simple projects online. You can clone them. You can run them locally. So once you run them locally now, because it is not easy to run any of the open source projects locally directly, because you have to set up a lot of things. So while setting up these things now, you will get to know in which folder we have the configuration, in which folder we have this UI, in which folder we have backend. So you're I guess the best thing to do is to run it locally, and you'll get a basic idea of the code base.
So, what does a typical day of a GSoC contributor look like? Is it like 9 to 5? Is it like sitting on bed and contributing? What's
Yeah,
that?
yeah. So it depends on organization to organization. My organization during my time as a contributor was a little strict. So they had this app where to run it, and they used to track how much hours you are logging. So I have opted for large project. I guess you know that there are multiple projects, medium project, large projects. So large project lasts for 8 weeks, 8 or 12 weeks, right? So for that duration, they expect you to work a total of 350 hours and 8 hours per day. Okay. So during my time, they are using this app to track each and every movement of my, like they are tracking keyboard and mouse movements, taking screenshots randomly, and there was a dashboard to track the efficiency and all the times I have logged. So this was in my org, but just before, like I was a GSO contributor in the year 2024, right? But in the 23 part, I don't think so. There was any such of app. There because mostly it's like you will have your proposal. Your proposal will have weekly distribution of your work. This week I'll do this, and the next week I'll do this. So if you're going on your track, I don't think so that should be a problem. But yeah, it depends on organization to organization.
Okay, the next question is for stage fear ones. Communication is often considered the key to a successful GSoC project. How did you maintain effective communication with mentor, especially across different time zones?
Yeah. So I guess if you have stage phobia or something, I don't think so. GSoC should be a major issue for you because all the communication will go through text mode, probably via Slack, via Discord or mailing groups. Because at our time we had Slack and we used to have one weekly meet. Okay. So I guess yeah, like I guess you don't need a prerequisite of communication skill, but on the journey of GSoC, I guess you'll learn a lot, like how to communicate with people, how to communicate with people with different time zones, right? So it's not a prerequisite. You can learn it.
Moving to the next question. How there is one more question. How would you approach learning to code, especially DevOps, in the age of AI?
Okay. What if it's learning to code, especially DevOps? The question is not clear. Do you want to learn DevOps or like
He is asking, I think, about AI ops and DevOps.
So I got it. So basically, he wants to say how to learn code in the domain of DevOps.
oh,
And there are lots of LLMs and everything.
okay. So first of all, I think you should like okay, and development, right? Okay. So first of all, I think you should go through AWS and GCP. I guess most of you are aware of AWS and GCP, right?
Sir, could you explain? Some of them are from second year. So may
Okay, so these are cloud platforms. So any website you see, there is a backend, and backend is hosted somewhere. It can be a laptop, your laptop, or it can be a server. So if I give you a very layman or like very basic definition, so this tools, Google Cloud Platform and AWS provides you with servers that where you can host your websites. So first of all, I would recommend if you want to go in the domain of DevOps, I would recommend you to create a portfolio website of yours. It can be a single page website. It can be an empty HTML page or empty Python page. It doesn't matter. Just create one simple page and host it in AWS and GCP. Once you get the flow, na, uh, like you will know at least one of the services in AWS and GCP. So once you know one service, you can move forward to this arcade program of Google. Okay, I will share the link with you. There is this arcade program where you can learn Google GCP, like Google Cloud Platform. And basically, they provide hands-on experience. It's not like theory videos. They will guide you each and every step. Ki, why to do what, how to deploy to Kubernetes, ECS, if you're aware of these terms. Okay. So first of all, I think I would recommend you to like watch a basic video of what is DevOps. After that, you can host your first website, buy a domain. Even many of the websites are giving you free domains, so you can use free domains. And third step would be to participate in Google Arcade program because they are also providing you with swags. So if you are like completing certain amount of learning paths, they will provide you with Google t-shirts, bags, goodies. So I guess this is one of the way. And especially talking about AI, so in the field of I don't think so ki currently AI replaces DevOps engineer, because in that like DevOps is not limited to one platform. How does AI work? It needs context to work, right? It needs all the context to work. So mostly we use DevOps to deploy our code. So our might have different configuration. Our local code might have different configuration. So AI, I don't think so currently replaces DevOps engineer.
I don't know about the web development. So is GSoC perfect for me if I am entering the cloud journey?
So you don't know development, but you know cloud, right?
Yeah, I am like entering in the phase of the cloud computing.
Okay.
So would it be
So
a red flag or a green flag for
I
me?
would say like there are not many organizations where you can contribute with cloud infrastructure because usually they keep it hidden. Although the code, the front end, the back end is public, they keep the core infrastructure hidden because it's like if you have my core infrastructure, you can just replicate it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I guess you should start with web or app development first.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Have you ever disagreed with your mentor on technical approach? If yes, how did you handle the situation professionally?
Yeah, like disagreement can happen. You have to explain your like architecture, your point of view. That if you are confident ki your architecture works fine and meets with the requirement, then you have to like take a stand for yourself. You have to explain why it works and how your approach is the best approach. So be confident with with your approach. Be thoroughly. You should know the code base. It shouldn't be like you are just using AI tools to like contribute. You can do that, but it will not make any sense.
Just a simple question. When did you start your journey?
So I started my coding journey during COVID, like in 2020. And first year of college was Google Summer of Code. I got accepted into Google Summer of Code. Second year of college, mentored at Google Summer of Code. And currently also I'm mentoring. So twice I mentored and once contributor. And
Interesting.
like I have been part of different, like I have also started a startup and got a grant from college. Participated in many hackathons. So yeah, I've been like into this field only and like exploring. The
Yeah.
best thing I would suggest to the juniors is to explore, because right now you have time to explore. Once you get into the senior years, third year, fourth year, I don't think so you will get time to explore.
Yeah, many of the juniors think that contributing in GSoC and spending our time would not be useful much. They focus on DSA and development part. So you would suggest that open source is the best way.
Yeah, even when you are in first year or second year, you don't have access to large code bases. But open source gives you the opportunity to work on large code bases, and this really like improves your thinking ability, because you know ki how large organization works and how they are handling different architectures. I guess like at least once you should do open source contribution to know how big organization works.
Okay. How has GSoC impacted your career? Has it helped you with internships, very important part, networking or placements?
Yeah. I do agree ki it may have indirectly impacted me, not directly, because like in like if you add GSoC to your resume, it's a big plus point. Like so, I do think so that helps you. And yeah, I don't think so ki yeah. Also, Google provides you with referral if you have GSoC in your resume. So
Okay, it was a new thing for me. For students who don't get selected, is continuing open source contribution still worth it?
yes, it is completely worth it. First of all, as I said, ki as a second year student, you don't have access to large companies' code bases. You don't know how company works, because once you have made several projects, you have explored web development, you will be like you don't know na ki how things actually work in corporate in organizations. This gives you an opportunity to like get a hang of it. Like you will know ki how things work, how different architecture work with one another, how cloud integrates with backend integrates with front end. So this kind of thing, I don't think so as a first year or second year student you will get to know if you don't contribute to open source. So this is why, like, I don't know about third year or fourth year. First year or second year students should definitely try. Third year, usually, if you see na ki people actually crack Google Summer of Code in third year or fourth year, because in the first year they don't do any development. Then they start development very slowly. So it takes time to like usually in third year and fourth year people crack it. But I guess yeah, if even if you don't get into Google Summer of Code, that's not a big deal. You can like try different other things like MLH fellowship we have, then LFX mentorship. These are the different programs you can apply to. MLH, I don't think they're accepting applications from India. I don't know why. It's been like 2 years. And apart from that, there are various bug bounty programs, various repositories which are providing you with various rewards, mostly monetary or like swags. They will provide you with swags if you contribute to their code basis.
So that's it, our questions. Can we have a rapid fire round?
Sure.
First one, what the one skill every student should master before aiming for GSoC?
Web development or app development, any kind of development.
If a beginner has 1 month to prepare, where should they spend most of their time?
No, if you have 1 month of time, don't apply to GSoC. I wouldn't recommend. I would recommend ki first explore what is development, how things works. Try to understand the architecture better.
Which Git or GitHub feature do beginners often overlook but should definitely learn?
Yeah, so reverting a commit. I don't think so. Two things I would say: reverting a commit, and another thing is how to fix merge conflict.
One more question from the chat. If you started your coding journey in the third year, how would you deal with the fear of having less time to get job?
If you're starting your coding journey in your third year, I wouldn't recommend you to go with web development or any kind of development as such. I guess you should focus on your placements.
DSA.
Huh. Just do DSA. That's it.
DSA.
There is one more raise of hand, Shriya Bagde. Would you like to ask anything?
Yeah. First of all, Mr. Das, like your answers were very helpful and all the answers answered like most of my questions. But since you mentioned that people should focus on web development in many of your answers, my question is that with AI changing the way developers code, do you would you recommend that we should take the help of AI for the code and then enhance our code more, or solely just focus on web development and manual coding for someone who is just entering open source?
This is a
Okay.
doubt of mine too.
Okay, so let me answer you. So, if you're starting your web development journey, if you are a very basic, like just starting, I wouldn't recommend touching any AI tools. Just get the basics clear. After you got the basics clear, you can take help of any AI tools. That's not a problem. You can treat AI as your like companion, your junior. Like if you know how to fix this, you can just explain the fix with the like AI tools. It shouldn't be like, fix this, just fix this. It doesn't work like that. If you're using like that, then I don't think so it makes any sense in future perspective.
So
Okay, so
AI creates will.
Future में AI creates नहीं मिलता है. That's the big thing.
yeah,
You should know
there
how
is
to optimize it.
yeah, okay. Thank you.
there is one more question in the chat. Tips for writing a proposal.
Tips for writing. I think you should first start your contribution. You can reach out to me for your proposal, but I don't think so it makes sense now for like guiding you how to write a proposal.
One last question. What's one misconception students have about GSoC that you would like to clear today?
Misconception. One misconception could be if you have cracked GSoC, you have done everything. It's not like that. GSoC is a part of journey. Okay, it's good to have. If you don't get into GSoC, that's also fine, no problem. So don't take it so seriously. It's still.
So we had a wonderful discussion so far. Before we conclude, we had now like to open the floor for questions. If anyone has questions, this is the perfect opportunity for you. Yes, Ayush Chitnis, you can speak up.
Yes, hi. So I recently got into second year, and in my first year I used GitHub to work on my college group projects. So I have a basic understanding of Git and open source. But if I want to start making real world contributions to like companies, big companies or real companies, how and where do I start?
So basically, in the GitHub portal now, you can search for companies. So how can you search for companies? I think you should start searching for companies which you use in regular basis. If you know cal.com, they have their repository. You can contribute to Android because you're using Android phone on a regular basis. You can contribute to Chrome. You can contribute to like any of the projects. If you're using 10 apps, try searching those apps if they are open source. See their code bases. If you think ki their code base is complex, the most basic thing you can do is contribute to npm packages, because the packages are not too big and you know how to use this, like you know the application of that package, right? How which functions they are providing, which methods they are exposing. So I guess as a beginner you can contribute to npm packages. Like mostly I was a Android developer, although I'm a full stack developer, but like my majority of the time I was working on Flutter. So if you know, like in Flutter, all the packages are open source, and I contributed to one of the packages which was provided by Google. So and my contribution got accepted because so basically I added one feature, and this feature was needed by many of the developers which were not there in the package. So you can do similar things.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? No one, I think. Yeah. My personal question: what was your priority for DSA development and open source? What was the time you gave
See,
to three of
uh,
them?
See, it completely depends on the context of timeline. Because if you're in third year, it doesn't make any sense you're starting your open source journey. If you're in third year, just do DSA, just apply for companies. That's it. But if you're like in first year or second year, definitely you should do development. You will understand how things works, like how thing around, like how different things around you and like different website, different app works. So I guess like yeah, development is a big part, but completely depend on the context and timeline you have. If you have 6 months for placement, I don't think so. The open source, yeah, any kind of development makes sense for you.
Okay. Any more doubts?
Hello, sir. Hello. At
I
this.
guess we should just a minute. We just have 3 minutes, and then we'll wind up. Okay,
Yes. At the
you
start
can
of the
start.
meeting, you
Yeah, you
mentioned
can.
that you are going to share some resources. So can you please share them?
Yeah, I'll share with Pranav and he will circulate to the group.
Okay.
Zia,
Yeah, just
is
one
there is
quick.
there any doubt?
Yeah, just one quick question. Like you are emphasizing a lot on web development part. So if you could suggest a tech stack, like for a beginner to start with web development.
Okay, so I would recommend key basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then React, then Next.js. Although don't rely completely on React and Next.js because it is completely replaced by AI. AI can write the best React code without any bug or something. So, what why I'm saying to learn React, because you learn how different technology works, right? So, once you have like gone through HTML, CSS, JavaScript, this will give you a basics of web development. Then you can move forward to React and Next.js. Then after that, you can learn any backend language, Django. Then we have Angular, Node.js. This kind of technologies you can learn after like at least clearing the basics. For basics, you can like refer to if you know about Chai or code, you can refer his videos for JavaScript. There is a playlist.
Okay.
Do you want to add something to it?
I guess learning React and Next.js would be the best option, and learning more into the depth of the concepts, because learning just use effect and use state doesn't work. You have to know all about Redux and stores in React as well. So get into the depth and try to understand the fundamentals, how things works. So that's how.
Right.
As I mentioned earlier, you should at least know the basics.
And you mentioned that you worked with Flutter for some project. So how important
Yes.
is learning Flutter at this
Mhm.
stage?
Sorry.
Yeah, how important is learning Flutter in comparison to the
I will answer. I will answer this. See, once you learn any framework, you will be able to write the code in any other framework as well. It doesn't take
Okay.
much, lot of time.
Okay.
It's each and every framework follows the same basics. So learn any one, and then you can easily shift to another one.
Thank you so
So
much.
basically, the syntax is different, but the core technology or core thinking, how it works, it is the same for any kind of framework.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. As we have came to our end of today's session, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Mr. Bishal Das, for sharing your valuable time, experiences, and practical insights with us. Your journey from becoming a Google Summer of Code contributor to mentoring future contributions has given us a clear understanding of how open source is much more than just writing a code. It is about collaboration, continuous learning, and giving back to community. We are confident that today's session has inspired many students to take their first step into world of open source and being contributing with confidence. On the behalf of Team ACM PCCOE, thank you everyone for being part of today's event. We look forward to seeing you in more exciting ACM activities. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you everyone.
तनिष्क क्या क्वेश्चन था भाई?
हाँ पूछ लो।
Just a small question. Like, is there any unwritten or unspoken rule which you got about about your organization or your community or any other open source community, which you got to know after you joined them?
Will you please repeat your question?
So, is there any unwritten or unspoken rule of any open source community which you got to know when you started working with them?
Yeah, there is no like as I mentioned earlier, AI is a big red flag. If you are just using AI for your code, yeah, for your proposal, that is one thing I guess most of the contributors overlook because they made their contributions through AI tools, their proposal to AI tools. But like as mentors, yeah, as there are many other lead mentors also, they have been part of this community for several years, 15 years, 20 years. They know everything, they know how much you can contribute, they can see the code and they will know ki this is AI written. And this is a big red flag if you are like really trying to get into open source, really trying to get into Google Summer of Code. I don't think so AI should be a part of you, like 100% of your code shouldn't be AI. You can use AI tools for like improvement, for enhancement. You should know the basics.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then.
Let's wrap
We
up.
can wrap up.
Yeah. I think we should end.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.